What's going on, everyone? This is the Rockness Monster here, and I'm back with another tech video. I know it's been quite a while since I did my last one, going on 6 months, but there's reasoning behind that, and I may explain that in this video or another, I'm not sure. But this video today, I feel, is good timing and will be beneficial to anybody looking for a new monitor to pair with their current system, whatever it may be, high end, mid range, low end. Hopefully these are some good price performance deals that will leave you saying,
Hey, that's pretty good.
alright, so silly memes aside, let's go ahead and jump right into this with the Acer H6 23-inch IPS 5 millisecond response time 1080p monitor for $120. If you don't know, IPS is a newer monitor well, not newer, but it's a monitor technology that is slower response time, but much higher and more accurate color reproduction than TN counterparts, which are more common. So this monitor, you're going to have very vibrant, bright colors. It has HDMI inputs, which is pretty standard for the most part, so you can connect basically any device up to it that has an HDMI port, as far as I'm aware. Viewing angles on this particular monitor are going to be very, very good, but something to keep in mind is that this is a glossy finish. I don't think it says that in the description, but if you go on other websites, it will tell you more about this monitor, saying it is a glossy finish. It's pretty standard, slim bezels, not much on the sides there. It looks really clean. It's minimalistic. I like it a lot. For $120, if you're a casual gamer or somebody who is looking just to, let's say, bring more vibrancy to their desktop with a newer monitor, or if you're playing on anything less than 60 hertz, or if you're playing games less than 60 FPS, should I say. This is a 60 hertz monitor. It supports up to 60 frames per second. This would be a good monitor for you. I feel like it would pair nicely with a lower end video card such as a GTX 1050 or an RX 560 or so, or if you're just a content creator on a budget. With this IPS panel, color reproduction is nice. I wouldn't use many of these monitors together, probably just one, due to the fact that it is glossy and there will be some glare and reflections going on. So this would be best suited in a darker environment, but for the price that it is, and the size and the value, it's a very good deal. Up next is another Acer monitor. You're going to notice I have a few Acers in here because, well, they're cheap, and they offer decent price performance. A lot of people say it's not good quality. I, on the other hand, believe that you get the best bang for your buck regardless. So this is a monitor dedicated to gamers. It's only $20 over the Acer H6, and this is Acer KG BMX Black 24.5, so it's larger. It is a TN panel, but it's 75 hertz and FreeSync for AMD cards. That is awesome for $140. 75 hertz means that you will be playing your games or browsing or whatever at 75 frames per second with no screen tearing. That's 15 extra frames per second in games that you could potentially get if you use VSync to eliminate screen tearing, and that does offer a lot more fluidity in your games. Along with FreeSync and an AMD card, I think a 200 series card and up supports FreeSync. So if you have a 560, 580, 470, 570, any of those more recent AMD graphics cards, this monitor would pair perfectly with those. FreeSync is a technology built into the monitor that I'm not entirely sure what all it does. It just eliminates micro stutters, I know. When it comes to screen tearing, it eliminates that. It makes it look butter smooth, pure fluidity coming from the graphics card to the monitor. It has this monitor in particular has a more gamery aesthetic to it. It's got the nice triangular stand to give it more gamery appeal. It's pretty blocky, but I mean it's very sleek on the bezels, just as the other Acer monitor was. I actually have a friend who has the 27-inch version of this monitor, and that goes for $200, and he absolutely loves it. But I recommend getting a smaller one just because you're not going to be sitting that close or that far away from your monitor. You're sitting fairly close to it. And from what he's used so far, he absolutely adores it. And it looks beautiful, he says. And with FreeSync and his RX 580, it's phenomenal performance for $140. The sale does end in 3 days. So if you're watching this video 1 or 2 days after this comes out, try and snap that monitor up quick if you have a card, AMD card, and you're looking to upgrade. So next up is another Acer monitor, 24 inches, except this time it's 144 hertz refresh rate instead of the 75 on the previous with FreeSync for $210. I really recommend this monitor. It looks very gamery. It has full rotation and tilt if you're into that sort of thing, which it's pretty standard on more high quality monitors. The bezels are a little chunkier than the previous models you looked at, but I really recommend it for this high refresh rate. This would pair very nicely with an RX 580 or 480. Even the new Vega cards would go nicely with it. Those would max out the potential of this monitor. And with FreeSync, again, that technology is going to make the fluidity, micro stutters, all that stuff go away. It's going to be just pure butter gameplay, I'd say. It's the smoothness of gameplay is phenomenal on that technology. So with that in mind, you could either spend $200 on the 27-inch version of this, or you could go up, have that same 24-inch size, but really have a competitive gaming display. It's a TN panel, just as the other one was. So the colors aren't going to be quite as vibrant, but you're going to have a 1 millisecond response time, just as you do on the KG series. And it's really designed to be competitive. So if you're playing games such as CSGO or Rainbow Six Siege, those high refresh rates and that low response time will definitely give you an edge over certain other players gaming on a monitor such as this, for example. Moving up, I find this deal absolutely phenomenal. It's $350, but after mail and rebate, only $300 for a 4K IPS display that's 27 inches and has a DisplayPort. I really love DisplayPort. If I didn't talk about it previously on this comes with a DisplayPort in the box, this particular monitor, your high refresh rate one, and you need that DisplayPort cable to take full advantage of those high refresh rates, because if not, with just an HDMI, it is not going to work properly. So keep that in mind. You're not going to be able to get more than 60 hertz out of an HDMI cable typically, unless you have a DisplayPort for a high refresh rate monitor. This has a DisplayPort, so it's really no issue there. It is 4K and IPS and 5 millisecond with FreeSync. So again, it has that same technology, and as long as you're gaming anywhere from 30 to 60 FPS, as far as I'm aware, you're going to get that FreeSync feel in your games. This would be fantastic for content creation, especially because, I mean, if you're editing in Photoshop, that's 4 times as many pixels you have to work with versus whenever you're editing in, or that's being displayed to you, the clarity anyways, versus 1080p monitors. I mean, and then on 27 inches, you're talking about extreme pixel density. And if you're really somebody who likes to content create or plays games for the aesthetic and the beauty and have a card that can run a 4K display, such as, I wouldn't say anything less than a 980 Ti or a GTX 1070, especially the new Vega cards will go wonderfully with this monitor, playing games such as Grand Theft Auto 5 or Skyrim, Fallout 4, games like those that are really about the beauty in games versus the competitive edge you have over others with a high refresh rate. This monitor is fantastic, and it's on sale, and that sale is ending like one of the other monitors. So if you're watching this video soon and you think about a 4K and you have a Vega card or a card that can support 4K, this is an awesome deal. I mean, I can't preach enough how beautiful the color reproduction will be on this display, especially at this resolution. It's going to look like nothing you've ever seen if you haven't ever had experienced 4K before. So, yeah, for a high-end system, mainly going for aesthetics, I recommend this one. And the final monitor here is the Dell Gaming S2417DG 1440p TN panel, 1 millisecond response time, 144 Hz, overclockable to 165 with G-Sync, which is a technology that is just like AMD's FreeSync, but for NVIDIA cards at $430. This, in my opinion, is the best value for money high-end gaming monitor out there. I have this monitor personally, and after I've set it up properly and know how things are supposed to work on it, it's an amazing, amazing experience paired with my GTX 1070. Somebody with a 1080 or a 1080 Ti would really get the full experience this monitor has to offer, because I mean, those higher frame rates you'll be able to get with G-Sync, it'd be phenomenal, especially at 24 inches. The pixel density, it's beautiful. If you dip anywhere below 60 FPS, the G-Sync cuts off, and you can really, once it hits that range, like I play PUBG for example, you can really tell the difference between G-Sync enabled and G-Sync disabled. Because at 60 FPS, it is fluid, it is butter smooth, and then once it gets to 59, there's a huge difference. Like, just that line right there of normally you wouldn't notice a difference, on this panel you do, because that's when G-Sync decides that it's not, your frames aren't getting high enough to support it. I will say, however, out of the box, this monitor is very, very washed out. You are going to need to calibrate this. You are going to need to calibrate this if you get this particular monitor. I want to reiterate that as much as I can, because the top review on Amazon of this monitor is the color calibration settings you should use. I follow those identically to what the man or woman or whoever they may be on the Amazon review said, and it's actually a darker black on my desktop, which I can show you that really quick. It is a darker black than the IPS display I have next to me. It is a darker black color than the IPS display next to me. Now, I will say around the edges, there's a slight amount of backlight bleed. Very slight. It may be, I see some others that have the same issue. It may be just my particular unit. But overall, once you get into a game, that backlight bleed goes away. Basically, you don't notice it so much when you have beautiful, vibrant colors coming at you on certain games. And I'm telling you that whenever you play with G-Sync and high refresh rate, it really is a game changer, pun intended. So yeah, those are my 5 recommendations on monitors to buy at this point in time in early October. Prices go up, prices go down. That's how the market works. They're all fairly minimalistic and also somewhat stylish in the same sense, in my opinion. The most minimalistic one is probably the 4K, but if you're getting 4K, you're paying to look at something. You're not going to be looking at that stand or anything else when you're looking at that resolution. So again, I feel like these are very good price to performance on what you're really getting what you pay for here. You're not getting overpriced compared to similar specs on other monitors. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, feel free to leave a like. I really want to see you guys. Leave a comment down below if you have any questions or concerns. If you have any experience with these monitors yourself. I try and talk to anybody I can in pretty much all of my videos that comments benefit of me being a small channel. If you have any family members or friends that may find this useful, feel free to share it. This has been the Rockness Monster. I will see you all in the next video. Peace.